of Snap Decisions. I am in my warm living room here. You see my nice living room in back of me and the curtains and the flowers and all that good stuff. Coming to you live today to bring you the OTA report. So we got the OTA today as we knew we would. And I'm here to just talk about it a little bit. And we're going to read the notes and all that good stuff like we normally do. So welcome. I hope you are enjoying your weekend snap. And first thing is, please make sure check out the two. There's my live pod from Tuesday. There is which is on YouTube and Spotify and Apple and all that good stuff. There is the Two Dudes Snapping premiere episode, which of course is myself and Nick the Greek Geek. And that is also on my YouTube channel, which will be moving to our own channel at some point. But check that out. That was a lot of fun. And then, of course, check out my interview last night. My guest was Little Robitussin, content creator. We had a blast chatting about Marvel Snap, although the first 12 minutes didn't get recorded because my internet was being stupid. And so I apologize for that. The beginning is going to be rather abrupt. There's no entry theme and all that kind of stuff, which sucks. But because Little Robitussin talked about the theme and stuff like that after we started. And we talked about some other stuff that got nixed out of there, which I was a little bit pissed. But what could you do? Technology sometimes it gets the better of us, I guess. And so, yeah, let's get into it here. We have a few cards that we got buffs for, a few that got nerfed and stuff too. So let's take a look, shall we? These are the notes. It says, as we come to the final week of We Are Venom and turn our attention from high voltage back to 6-turn games, we're looking to dial back a few pieces of the metagame that can remove the opponent's ability to play their cards. Second Dinner does not like that. I've told you that many times on the show. And open up more room to experiment with a crop of new decks. So the first one that's getting a big nerf is Storm. She's going from same power, obviously, but she's going from a 3/2 to a 4/5. A 4/5. So now you got to wait that extra turn. It's one turn, really. So now you can still do it, but you are going to have to play it. Excuse me. You're going to have to play it on turn 4. Then you'd have to Legion on turn 5. So you could still do it. It's just not as easy anymore, especially if you're getting things out earlier than you wanted to and stuff like that. You won't be able to. So the notes on this were decks using Storm with War Machine and Legion to cut off all opposing plays on the final turn have remained strong. And while this sort of lockout combo can be novel, it can get frustrating to play against repeatedly. We're happy with a lot of other stuff that War Machine is enabling, so just want to make this particular combo come up less frequently and require more setup. This change aims to do that while giving Storm some more power to contest her own location. By the way, if you're hearing chomping, wait, hold on. Oh, no, I can't show you because I'd have to reverse the camera. Hold on, wait. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I'll show you what's chomping. Ready? There she is. That is Marley, and she is chomping. So Marley's chomping in the background. She has a bone. Yeah. So, I mean, look, I knew this wasn't going to last. It's still being played a lot. And Second Dinner does not like it when people can't play their cards. Rightfully so. I agree with this. I think it needed to be done. People that play these decks still may end up playing them, but I think that this needed to be done. I think it's a good change. And yeah, so those decks were not fun to play against. I agree wholeheartedly with this, and I think it's a good change. Next up, we have Misery and another situation where a card coming out in the same month is getting a buff already, going from a 4/7 to a 4/8. So just a point of power, but this kind of gets some people when they don't buy the card. But she's going up a point. While Misery has enabled a lot of cool stuff, she's fallen a little short of our hopes, part because she often removes so much power from her location. With a little boost to her own power, the other players should be forced to spend some effort to win Misery's location, giving the Misery player more room to capitalize on the other advantages she's generating. So just going to a 4/8, the one extra power. I haven't seen a ton of Misery decks. There are people playing it, but I haven't seen a ton of it. And now, of course, that Toxin is out, you're going to see probably a lot more bounce decks than anything. So I'm not really sure this is going to make a difference much. Maybe down the road or so, but yeah, another in-month card getting a change. This was a little odd to me. Electro going from a 3/2 to a 3/3, same ability, just gets an extra point of power. Um, Players have been trying out Electro in combination with War Machine and Misery, but overall, the cards had trouble standing up to other energy generating options. While an Electro deck's plan is to often weasel its way out of its restriction. That doesn't always pan out, and we like playing one card a turn to be more feasible option. This is interesting. Two of the cards that I played in my original Galactus decks, which were always ramp decks. So the Electro card, and then later on you'll see another one that was always in my initial Galactus decks. I might have to delve into that. I might have to just see. I might have to just try it out, and I might have to just see if this is going to make it better. It's only a point of power, but and it's going to be the same thing later on with the other card. But sometimes that makes a difference in a Galactus deck because you want to have priority. So it's going to be interesting, and I definitely will try it out. Obviously, itching to try that new Galactus that I got too. Rock Slide gets a big nerf. He's going from a 3/3 to a 4/5. Darkhawk decks have consistently been among the highest win rate decks for a long time, even when their play rates don't catch up. However, drawing rocks can be a frustrating thing to play against, and that's what's been happening a lot more recently with new versions of this deck built around Misery or Agent Venom. This change aims to make players actually draw the rocks less frequently, with fewer turns to draw them. So you're only going to have, turn 5, turn 6 to draw the rocks. And to make the Darkhawk package require a little more building around rather than slotting seamlessly into tons of shells. So interesting, and look, Darkhawk always seems to be around. It always seems to be around. It always seems to be prevalent in the meta, and seems to be played a good amount. So yeah, look, it's a good change. I think the rock thing is frustrating, and this way you're not going to get the rocks until later in the game, and maybe at that point it won't mean much. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good change. Shadow King gets a buff, little point of power to him. It goes from a 2/2 to a 2/3. So speaking of Agent Venom, the card has spawned a lot of strong decks. While none of them look so powerful that they require a nerf at the moment, we've been concerned by the low degree of counterplay to this suite of strategies. Whenever possible, we want players to have some way to improve their matchups if they're losing to the same strategy a lot. Since Shadow King is the most direct way to negate Agent Venom's boost, we want to make him easier to include in a wide range of decks. So it's an Agent Venom deck counter. Of course, you all know those. Some of them are Athena, Kitty. Some of them have Angela. Most of them have Iron Man, Mystique, or another form of that. So yeah, it is a strong deck. It's one of the top in the meta, and yeah, maybe more people will play Shadow King now. Next up is Claw. Claw is a 5/4, staying at a 5/4, but instead of giving the location to the right 8 power, he's now just giving it 7 power, so a little reduction there. While Claw hasn't been dominating top of the metagame, he has consistently been very strong since this buff, and is having an outsized impact at lower collection levels. Okay, so not maybe necessarily for people in Infinite Ladder, but maybe for like beginners and stuff like that. As a Series 1 card, this has an outsized impact on newer players. So in the interest of diversifying their metagame, we're taking Claw down a notch since we still expect him to remain a reasonable option with wider collections. So this one mostly for, Series 1, Series 2 players in the game. So really not aimed at people that are on Infinite Ladder or anything like that. I shouldn't say that, though, because, newer players can get into it. It's just aimed at newer players. You get my drift. Next up is the other Galactus deck card that I was telling you about, and it's Daredevil. He's just going from a 2/2 to a 2/3. No changes. Daredevil is a beloved character and offers a unique way to play Snap. We've been wary of making this card too strong, especially in lower collections score play, because it can slow down games a lot. But we think Daredevil has room to improve for his fans without being played so often that it makes a big difference to overall game length. I've always loved this card. It does have a unique thing. It lets you see an opponent's play, and it is strong. It's just it's hard to decide what you're going to use it in, which is why Galactus was good with him, because you'd know where they were going to play. And if somehow you had a Daredevil out and you were waiting to see if you could play that Galactus on turn 6 or turn 5, if you can get him out earlier, your Daredevil will show you what your opponent is going to play. So it was always a good card in that deck. Like I said, I might have to experiment with the Electro Daredevil ramp deck and just see if these changes really helped it at all. We got another change. This guy gets changed like every month. Meek. He's going from a 1-0 to a 1-1. Same powers and stuff. We've been excited to see traditional discard strategies make a resurgence with Scorn's release. They've generally been performing well and use a wide variety of the usual suspects. But Meek's performance has been lagging. We've considered buffing this card for a while, but don't want to overshoot on the new discard packages. We feel confident now that Meek has room to get a little stronger and serve as another option in building these decks. I mean, he goes up, he goes down, he goes up, he goes down. So I don't know if he's still going to get in that shell. It's pretty static. It's a pretty static shell, so I'm not really sure that he's going to fit in that. But in any case, he's changed again. And then lastly, we have Typhoid Mary. This one was a surprise too. I didn't really see this coming, or Meek really. Ongoing, your cards will cards here have -1 power. Your other cards here have -1 power, and the new is the same stat line. But ongoing, your other cards here have -1. No. I'm sorry. Ongoing, your other cards. So she would do it all across the board. Have -1 power. Now it's just here. So it's now just one lane. They kind of changed it a little bit like Destroyer, where Destroyer doesn't affect his own lane. She just affects her lane. So she's only going to take power away from cards now that are in her lane. So you can technically just play her in her own lane until like maybe the end of the game when you can get out a Scar or something big. She'll be good in that deck, that the deck that I was playing, the Infinite, the Black Knight deck, as just another option for a double-digit card or a big card. You know what's funny about this now is we've got Surtur coming, and as the season passes, they might just want to be getting those Big Ten cards to be in play for Surtur. Surtur is going to be a really, really good card, unless they find they have to nerf it, because, you know, now with Typhoid Mary, it just adds another one to that list. Typhoid Mary, Atsuma. You've got, you know, if you're playing Ghost Rider and Black Knight, you've got Black Cat in there probably. You know, the Infinite that you can maybe bring back. You know, there's just a ton of 10s. And, you know, now you're going to have Scar that can be free on the last turn. So, and that Surtur is going to be very, very big. So, Typhoid Mary stayed the same for a long while. But as Sauron decks have fallen out of favor, she hasn't had many applications. Yeah, she used to be a staple in the the Sauron Shuri decks. She can look appealing for Scar, but hasn't really been an option because she brings your other high-powered cards below Scar's threshold. True. We're making a change to help these cards combine the way many players want them to, and to make Typhoid Mary a more feasible option in decks that play more cards to the board too. So Typhoid Mary got a change. It says that's all for this week. Until next time, happy snapping. So there it is. I will just say this. Not super exciting. Not super exciting. But usually, you know, now when they're doing 2 OTAs a month, and a patch. So now that they're doing that, you know, you tend to get the big changes early, and then the late changes kind of tend to be just adjustments. I'm still hoping to see some cards that I really would want to play get adjusted somewhere, like White Queen. I really would love to try to play the card. But I don't know if they're going to go back and do too many of those early series cards. But yeah, I did ask on Twitter if what people thought of it. They all thought it was kind of okay. It was okay. But other than the change to War Machine, the War Machine deck, other than change to Storm, which hurts more lockdown. Lockdown, you could just see it. Like if you're playing a lockdown deck, whether it be months ago when it was Professor X and Cannonball, or any of that kind of stuff, you can pretty much bet that you're gonna get that taken away. That they're gonna at some point take it away. They don't like it when people can get locked out of playing the game. And I can't really argue. It's a bad feeling when you're just kind of sitting there. It's like go back to the old Galactus Spider-Man thing. You knew you were done. You had no way to play until Jeff came along, and then you could put Jeff down. But other than that, you had no way to counter that. And it's the same thing with these. If they get that combo with Storm and Legion, you can't play your last turn and you're done because they will play around it. They'll know that you can't play. And then that's it. The game's over. You have no choice but to retreat. You have no way to win unless you're playing a Jeff or something like that. But even then, it's really not going to matter. Or unless you're playing a War Machine of your own when you can counter it. So, yeah, I'm not surprised by it. It's something that the question I would maybe have is whether this is enough. Is this going to do much to it? Because it's only delaying it on to turn 4. That you can play her. So you can still combo it out. You can still do turn 4 Storm, turn 5 Legion. No, I guess you can't, right? No, yeah. Well, no, wait. If you play Storm on turn 4, it's going to take till the next turn. Yeah, no, I guess you still could. But it's really late in the game to do it. So, but I'm not really surprised that this happened. In fact, I had said on this show that I kind of thought that War Machine might take a shot, and they did say they didn't want to do that. But I kind of thought maybe he would get reduced to like a 4-5, or as Lambie said it on Cam Best's podcast, maybe a 4-4 to make him just completely irrelevant power wise. But they didn't want to do that. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all by this. I don't know whether or not people are going to be upset about it, but I think you got to understand that going forward, if there are any decks that are out there that are going to lock players down completely where they just can't play, Second Dinner is going to be on it because it's not something they like to see where players can't play cards. And so yeah, but yeah, that's the OTA. It came out early today. It was at like 2:00 in the afternoon my time. So I'm sure we'll be talking about this in other forms, probably next Tuesday on the pod, and could probably be also talking about it with Nick on the second episode of Two Dudes Snapping. Which, by the way, if you haven't checked it out, go do so. It is on my YouTube page. So it was really fun. We discussed a lot of things. The new cards. And before I get out of here, I wanted to mention the new card. What the heck are they calling it? Hold on, let me pull it up. The new way to get the old variants. In a nutshell, right? The new way to get the old variants. It's the Collector's Vault. I went in there. It was cool. You open your little your vault up. So I had 3 purples, 1 blue, and 2 golds in my vault. And what I opened was Let me see if I could show you. Yeah, it might be. You can maybe see the screen. There is Spider-Man, Black Panther. I'm going to bring it back over. Spider-Man. I didn't know I even didn't have this one. I thought I actually owned this one, but I didn't. It's cool, Spider-Man, but I have so many of them now that I don't know that I need another. The Black Panther is the Phoenix Force variant. Not really interested in that for 2,500 gold. So there's 1,400 gold ones, which are less rare. There's 2,000 gold, which are the purples. And then there's the 2,500 ones. So there's nothing in this set that I'm looking for at all. And yeah, I'm not blowing any gold on these. The next one I have is the Mr. Sinister Volmi variant. I don't ever play with Mr. Sinister. The next one is a Thor Venomized variant. Not really interested. I don't play with Thor much either, and I have a bunch of variants for him. The next one is the Nightforged Lady Sif, which the Nightforged ones are cool, but I have some pretty good Lady Sif variants. And the last one is a Chibi Star Lord, which yeah, no. So I'm going to be skipping these this first round. Now the way this works is Collector's Vault contains previously exclusive variants for a limited time. Variants are assigned a collector's quality that will impact their gold price and the odds in which they will appear when the vault opens. The odds of an individual shot makeup are the following. Well, there's a lot of stuff here. Amazing, 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 sensational, 9.5. So exquisites are the golds, right? They're the golds. So I got two of the golds. So that's pretty good. I think the golds are the sensationals. Yeah, I don't know. No, they're oh no, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe exquisite aren't. There's 3 grades. There's amazing, sensational, and then exquisite. Yeah, so it has to be. Amazing's got to be the purples, which are the lower cost ones. And then there is the sensational, which are the wait, what was I saying? It goes purple. Of course, I'd forget. No, wait, let me go back. There's also a network error that's coming up on this, by the way. If you're trying to read this, it makes you kind of close out the game. But anyway, the lower one is the amazing, so they're the easiest ones to get. And getting exquisite ones is pretty tough. Now I got 2, so that's not bad. I think I hit their odds of what I got. I got 1 amazing. I got 2 exquisite, and I think I had 3 sensational. So I hit the 5% odds. But it's also going to depend on how many of these you have. And I looked at the list, and I think I do have quite a bit of them. So I may only get some of the better ones. The ones I want out of this really are, and I don't need them. The one I want the most is Enchantress, the Sylvie Enchantress. I couldn't get that bundle, that big bundle that came out with her and Mobius on the jet ski. They're the 2 I would like to get. They're both going to be exquisites, I'm sure. But they're the 2 I'd like to get. Sylvie more so. I have a lot of Mobius variants. So I definitely want the Sylvie one because that's the one from the Loki series. So I definitely would like to get that one. But other than that, probably not going to be all that thrilled with any of them. It says if you do not pull 1 exquisite in your vault, you will be guaranteed to get at least 1 the next time the vault goes live. The guaranteed exquisite variant will take place of the highest quality vault item in the set that was rolled. The guaranteed exquisite does not influence the rates of rolling a given set. There are no more variants available to you in a particular collector quality. The vault will serve you another of a different variety, defaulting to lower qualities before moving to higher qualities. So that means if you, like for me, I got that Star-Lord that was in the lowest quality. If I didn't have any for that, then I would get the better ones all the time. If there are not enough variants to serve you a full vault, which will be guys like Super Tech God, you'll be served a partial vault. If there are not, no, I'm sorry, no, Super Tech God has all of them. If there are not enough variants to serve you a shop, at least 1, you will not be served a vault. So there will be some people that have every variant in the game that will not get the shop at all. So yeah, so that came out today. I don't know what it doesn't say is it doesn't say how often it's going to come back. So I don't know when exactly this will come back, or this will refresh itself, or this will come back. It's certainly not going to be every day. So I don't know. We'll have to see like exactly when. They may have answered that in Discord already. So all right. So that is the OTA and the changes and the updates and all that good stuff in the Collector's Vault. What do we have left for this month? We have Anti-Venom. So I'll be chatting about Anti-Venom on Comics Corner this coming week. He's pretty cool. I do like him. I read a lot of books with him. He is the one that actually heals. He's a good symbiote. So we have him left. He's a very random card. He's the one that gives you your next card at 0. So it'll be interesting to see what people are going to do with that. I said it's you're taking an awful chance, because if it zeroes out one card that you really don't want it zeroed out, then I mean, yeah, there's probably not a lot of cards in the game that you don't want zero out, but you know, it's, I don't know. It's gonna be fun to see what happens with it. We'll probably be in the bounce meta for at least a week, if not more. from Toxin. I know a lot of people were playing it last night when I played a little bit, and yeah. So plans for me. I am going to return after this. Will be next. Well, I have some. I might have some guests over the weekend. We'll see. I have Fawthorne Newman. We're talking, and hoping to set up a date. I know I've been telling you guys about Regis, but Regis has been super busy. He just did a real cool video on one of the developers that used to work for Blizzard, I think he was. And they talk about a lot of stuff on there. So it's a pretty cool video, but he's very, very busy. So I don't know. I haven't heard back from him since the first time that he said he was going to come on in mid-October. Obviously, it's past mid-October. So I'm not sure. I'll keep trying, obviously, but creators like himself are very busy, and they have their streams to do and all this kind of stuff too. So, and of course, life. He's a dad, and so yeah. So I will be continuing to try to get him on, and of course, I'm always looking for other creators to come on and chat with. Yeah, so I'll keep you posted on that. So we might have one this weekend. We'll see. I'll let you know. But otherwise, I'll be back next Tuesday. Now, please, if you would, if you're listening to this or if you're watching, please, if you would, let me know, because I want to decide when exactly I should have my live show, the live podcast on Tuesdays on the YouTube channel, because I've been trying to get the time just right. I was having it at like 1:30 in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, and because I knew I'd be done before the new card comes out. In which case, then all of a sudden the creators are doing their thing, and a lot of people are going to be in their streams and stuff, just watching them play the new card. So, and then the other day I did it later. I ended up doing it like 3 p.m. One of the days I did it in prime time. So it's kind of like 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock, in and around there. And I did get a bunch of people watching then, so maybe it would be better off if I did it later at night. But anyway, if you have thoughts on that, please let me know. Also, as I said, please make sure that you rate the podcast if you're listening on audio. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave me some comments. I'm always looking for new top fives for the show every week, so please leave me yours. If you have a certain top five that you would like to see, and of course, I will certainly give you credit for it. And then keep your eyes open for the next episode of Two Dudes Snapping as well. We will be getting on that as soon as we can to get that out for this coming week. And I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about these OTAs on there also. So yeah. One other little piece of news, wish me luck. And I don't, listen, I'm not going into this expecting much, but wish me luck. I did apply for the creator program, so we'll see. I know that the criteria isn't exactly there. My YouTube channel isn't. I've like 630 some subs or whatever, so I know it's probably a long shot. But hey, you don't win if you don't take a chance. And that's exactly what I'm doing there. So we'll see. And if I don't, hey, listen, I gave it a shot, right? And so there is yeah. So there's that. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me for the OTA report here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week in Snap. However you choose to play, whether you're going to play bounce or whether you're going to play something else, just enjoy the game. That's what it's there for. And enjoy that. And let me just finish off on this. Did you see Agatha last night? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And man, am I happy I did. I'm not going to give it away. Go watch it. My gosh, what a reveal of a character that was. I was literally like grinning from ear to ear because one of my favorite characters, and could not have been done better. Just amazing. And there's only one more week left of it. The last 2 episodes are going to be this coming Wednesday. So check it out if you haven't. If you haven't watched it from the beginning, do so. It's been a lot of fun, and some new characters being introduced into the MCU that could play a very big part in the show in the MCU going forward. So if you're going to see Venom, enjoy that too. Let me know how it is. I was going to go next Tuesday, but it turns out I can't. So, but yeah, if you go, let me know how it is. I know there's kind of mixed reviews on it, But yeah, let me know. All right, guys, that is it. I'm going to head out and have a great rest of your night. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another always. And hopefully I will talk to you all on the next episode of Snap Decisions. This is your Snap DJ signing off.